What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today for the review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 4, episode number 3. Don't know what the name of the episode is. It wasn't on the guide, so I don't know. I'm not gonna try to find out what the name of the episode is. But before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on my channel and you are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm gonna need you guys to do me a big solid favor. Hit the subscribe button, like button, notification bells on, light them all up, you guys, and share the videos, you guys. Share them. Now, with that out the way, without further ado, let's get into this review, shall we? Alright, you guys, we picked this episode up with Amara La Negra. You know, Amara is talking to her mother, and Amara is annoying me. And I love me some Amara. I love Amara. I loved Amara since the first time we saw her on season 1 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. You guys can go watch my first review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I love Amara. But this conversation with her mama and Alan, I'm going to keep it real with you guys, because I always do, right? I have an issue with both Mama and Alan. And I'm going to tell you guys why I have an issue with both of them a little later, right? So, Amara, you know, she makes her dramatic exit at one point, right? But then she's outside talking to Alan. And she thought about what her mama said. Because you guys remember, in the last week's episode, her mom was like, you'll move for him, but will he do the same for you? And so Amara asked him, would he move for her? He said yes. Now, in Amara's interview with the producers, Amara was making more excuses for him. You know, he has his businesses here. He has his kids here. His career is here. Amara. But your career is in Miami and in the U.S. But you're making it. Now, yes, his kids are there. I will give you that one thing. His kids. But your businesses, you can run your businesses from wherever, right? We're in a pandemic. A lot of people are now running their businesses from home. Zoom, Microsoft Teams, all that kind of stuff. So there's a way. He can make a way to run his business. But his kids, I will give him that one. But even with your kids, like you can fly your kid. If you got the money, you can fly to see your kids. You can fly your kids to Miami. But your businesses, that one, that's no excuse, right? So then Amara's mom comes out and she wants to talk to Amara, right? Her mom is asking about what about her career and her brand in Miami, right? So here's where I have the issue with her mother, right? Because I do get where Amara's coming from, right? It does feel like her mother is putting the pressure on her to come back to the States to do the Amara La Negra. You know, that kind of do her music and whatnot, right? I get where she's coming from. It does seem that way. And then, you know, she talks about how she's worked since she was a kid, which if you guys follow her on Instagram, she actually has posted videos of her when she was a little girl performing. So Amara has been performing since she was, you know, yay high. And then, you know, she talks about she had a bout with bulimia, right? And, you know, she talks about, I'm not going to be like Beyonce. You know, I know that my career is not going to be like Beyonce. And I'm like, damn, Beyonce, huh? And my mom says you don't have to be like Beyonce, but you can kind of mimic what she did. And, you know, the thing I will say when it comes to Amara, which I say it every season that I've reviewed, right? Amara has the potential, has the talent to be this big name, right? Because she is an amazing singer. And if you watch her music video, she's a great dancer, right? But at this point, I don't know if who's on her team. It's her team that's dropping the ball when it comes to her. Like everybody says when it comes to like Normani and Tinashe, them, the ball didn't drop with these artists, right? And it's really sad. So then her mom, we see them later as they're walking through the Dominican Republic, right? And they're walking through her mom's neighborhood that she grew up in. And her mom was just telling her how, you know, why she left because they were fights in the streets. People were being drunk in the streets and fighting. They would be shooting. They would be doing a lot of things that she just didn't want to deal with. So she ended up at 17 leaving the DR and headed toward the U.S. Miami to be specific. I always hear people talk about what it's like having parents from, different countries, like, people who are from Nigeria, people who are from, Nigeria, or, Spanish, DR. People, when families migrate from whatever country they're coming from to the U.S. for different opportunities, right? And then, even like Asian communities, right? It's really interesting because for us who grew up in the States, yes, our parents wanted a better life, wanted us to do good things in our lives, but nowhere near it compared to what someone who came from a different country to the U.S. is. It's really interesting, right, to see the parallels. So let's talk about Alan a little bit more, right? So I can honestly tell you guys that I don't necessarily like Alan. So Alan went back over to Amara's place that she's staying at. And he came in and she was like, he asked how it was. She said, she's like, so. He was like, I don't really like your energy. Hell, I don't like your energy either, Alan. And then, he asked her why she's not happy. Am I supposed to be happy just because you walked in the door? So then she tells him she's going back to Miami. And for me, Alan was doing the absolute most. So then, she says, well, will you take me to the airport? He says, no, I'll call you an Uber. A Uber? I bet you got to go. You got to go. Bye-bye. You getting mad because you want to take her mama back to the States and make sure that her mama's good? Nah, nigga, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Let's move on. All right, you guys. Next up, I want to talk about Ace and Sheila because these scenes with Ace and Sheila, Sheila. Her name is. It looked like Sheila. Sheila is her name. I gotta remember that. Sheila. Ace and Sheila. So Sheila suffers from anxiety, right? So she said that she had an anxiety attack in the wee hours of the morning, right? And Ace was unable to help her through this, right? And I understood both sides, right? I do get both sides, right? Sheila wanted Ace to be able to talk her through it, which you would want that from your significant other. If you tell them, hey, I suffer from depression, I suffer from this, I suffer from that, right? You would want them to be able to know, not necessarily just know how to help you through it if you have, an attack, right? Like if you have an asthma attack, if you have an anxiety attack, if you have any kind of attack, right? A panic attack, right? You just want your person to be able to just say, hey, babe, come, just rub your back, do whatever you got to do, talk you through it. You don't have to be like a therapist or anything like that, right? So she's upset with Ace because he didn't talk her through it. And I understand where she's coming from, right? I get her point. I get her point of view. But I also can see Ace's point of view, right? Because Ace is talking about that, when he was growing up, that, in his household, he doesn't know his brothers, his sisters, he doesn't know anyone that has anxiety or anything like that. And if they did know, or if they did have it, he just didn't know. And he doesn't know how to deal with it. And he was thinking that maybe Sheila would be able to handle it on her own and move through it, which is not a good thing to say, right? And then he was talking about how it was growing up with his mom and his stepdad, right? Which is typical in the black community, right? They'll say, if you start crying or anything like that, they'll say, toughen up. You're not supposed, you a man, you ain't supposed to cry, stuff like that. Which I hate hearing that kind of stuff. I do. But so yeah, that, and even in our community, we don't, people always say, because I've had people say that to me, right? Especially after my mom passed away. People were telling me, to pray. I'm like, what am I praying for? And I asked somebody that. I'm like, what am I praying for? What am I going to pray for? And they couldn't answer the question. I'm like, exactly. There's nothing for me to pray for. What am I praying for? Like, I don't understand that whole thing. Or, go to, like, what am I praying for? My mother is deceased. What can I pray for with that? I can pray that my mother comes back. She's not. I can pray for peace. And I think that's what people were trying to say, pray for peace. But what is peace? You, like, explain to me, what is peace when the one person you spent 27 years of your life with, you spent 27 years with this person. What is peace like, knowing that you got to live the rest of your life without that one person that means everything to you? Like, that was my thing. What does that mean? What does praying mean? What am I praying for? What am I praying to God for? If you could tell me what I'm praying for, I'll pray. But if you can't tell me what I'm praying for, I can't really pray for. Like, that's my whole thing. What am I freaking praying for? But somebody did say pray for peace. I'm like, but I didn't ask the question. What is peace? Like, what's peace? Because I don't know what that means for me. That's just my thing. So, with Ace and Sheila, I can see that Blondie is a source of her anxiety. I can definitely see that. And I think that Ace just needs to get a better handle on Blondie. Just tell her, like, Ma, I love you, right? You my mama. I'ma always love you, but Sheila is my wife. And, I have she comes first in my life at this point. Once they get that settled, they'll be fine. So then we see Sheila. So Sheila met up with her mom. And Sheila's mom didn't come to the brunch. And Sheila says that, her mom is just like her. She suffers with anxiety. So Sheila's mom and dad, they divorced when she was 3 years old. So Sheila's mom is white and her dad is black. Sheila's mom then remarried, but she married another white man. And she had a sister, had a daughter with that man. So her whole family is white. She's the only black person in her family on her mom's side, from what I gathered. And Sheila just said that, she was mad at her mom because she felt unwanted, like she didn't want a black child, and that she didn't know how to raise a black woman. I felt bad for Sheila in that scene, right? Because yes, her mom was crying, but your daughter is sitting here crying to you, telling you that she didn't feel wanted because she was a black woman. You didn't even embrace your child. Like, if I have a child with a white person, my child is going to be biracial. But if my child, if I have kids and my kids tell me anything that, they feel, left out, unappreciated, unloved, unwanted, on anything, I'm going to immediately embrace my kids. Because I've never felt that, right? I've never felt that because I've told my biological mother how I felt about situations, and nothing. I don't know. Emotionally, I don't know if she can be available to me the way, I don't know if she's just emotionally available for me. I don't think she's just an emotionally available person when I think about it, right? But yeah, that's it, you guys. We're going to move on. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about. Oh God, we got a blast from the past. So Nori A and Neary, is that his wife's name? Neary. You know that they're gonna be on not growing up. What's the show on WeTV? Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition. They're gonna be on Marriage Hip Hop Boot Camp. They're gonna be on Marriage Boot Camp. Damn, get your words together. Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition. They're going to be on there this October, along with, I can't remember all the couples that are on there. Most of them are from Love and Hip Hop. Amber and Miles from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which I follow Miles and I did not know that they were together, but okay. Who else? What was his name? He was on Hollywood season 1 with Nikki Baby. He was on Hollywood season 1 with Nikki Baby, and I cannot remember his name because he looked like Uncle Fester. What was that dude's name? Molly Mall. Molly Mall is on there with the girl that was from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and she's been on that show Beyond the Pole. Her name is Precious? Paris? Patience? It's something with a P. Pleasure. Treasure. No? I don't know what the girl's name. I have no idea what that girl's name is. Treasure, pleasure. It's something along that lines. I don't remember. Don't quote me. But yeah. So Nori and Neary, they're having a birthday party. They're having a birthday party to celebrate her birthday. That birthday party did not look COVID safe at all. Just saying. I don't know if maybe they had been tested. I don't think so, but didn't look. I mean, I was looking at them people. I'm like, God damn, it's a lot of people here, right? So then Ray and Prinky show up. So Ray J says he is bi-coastal at this point, right? He says, I'm in Miami because of love. Love is in Miami, but I'm going back to Hollywood. So we can expect to see him on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood at some point. So Ray says that he's there to, I'm restarting his Raycon business. The one thing I can't take away from Ray J is that the man is a great businessman, because I actually see people who wear his earbuds. I see people who wear his earbuds. So I'm not gonna take away from his business acumen, right? Definitely not gonna take away from that. So where we at? So the divorce is called off. Now I didn't know that Ray J was turning 40. I'm like, damn. Like, I know Ray J is older than me, but I'm like, I didn't realize, damn. But I guess I got to think about it, right? Because I'm 32. Jesus. But he says he's 40 and he wanted to be with his family and not go out to these parties. I'm like, since when? How recent was this? But okay, Ray, go off. So he's talking about he has no married friends. I'm like, shoot, damn. I would think Little Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls would say opposite, but whatever, right? But looks like Princess has her first friend in Neary. So then we see another scene where Neary and Nori are hanging out with Ray and Prinky. They come up to the house. They're cooking. Well, Nori and Neary went over to the house, over to Ray and Prinky's house. Oh God! Of all the friends to have that are married, I don't know if I would want those two. Those two and their volatile marriage, I would pass. Right? It would be a hard no for me, right? So Prinky and Neary talk about their businesses. You guys know that Neary is opening the juice bar, and then Prinky was talking about, she's talking about she's planning on being open in July and all the stuff that she has to go through to get, the doors open, right? Then Prinky started talking about her nail salon. I'm like, girl, I forgot all about that nail salon. That was years ago when she tried to open up that nail salon. Hell, whatever happened to her fashion line? What happened to her fashion line? Child, she done had so many businesses that she was gonna do on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but I don't know if any of them came to fruition. But whatever, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's move on and wrap the episode up. All right, guys, and then lastly, let's talk about Florence El Lucha. She's our new cast member. So Florence El Lucha, she tells us she's a queen of compa. I hope I said that right, compa. So she's talking about how she blew up. She's performed here, she's performed there, she's performed there. But this was all pre-pandemic. I'm like, damn, the pandemic really did fuck up a lot of shit, right? Whew. So now, we did see her in this episode. She was performing at her restaurant that she has. But on top of that, she is performing and she's behind the bar because she's short-staffed. And you guys, I told you guys about that in the last video yesterday, about how it is here in my hometown at the local Chili's. Like I said, our bartender, he was the bartender, he was the bus boy, he was the bartender, he was the server, he was everything. Like, I don't even know if they have people like. They are so short staffed because I think there's only one person up front that'll walk you to your tables. Like, Other places, it's like 2 or 3 people, but they only got one person. But hey, ain't got nothing to do with me, right? So then we see her. She's walking around. She's asking everybody, "You good? You good, baby? You good?" I love that, right? I do love that. That goes a long way. When I go to a restaurant, that goes a long way with me. You don't have to. You don't have to come back like three. You don't have to come back so much. But if you just come back every so often and say, "Hey, everything good? You still good?" Now, if like I that goes a long way with me, and that determines how big your tip is. Because if you just leave me sitting at my table and you only come back once, trust me, you ain't getting a big tip. You might get a 5% tip from me, like you might get a 5% tip. Actually, let's talk about. Let me talk. Let's discuss that. What percentage do you guys leave for a tip? Like I use a tip. I used to live I used to use a tip calculator, but I stopped using my tip calculator a long time ago. So what I do is, if I get good service, I will give you the highest that I'll go is 18%. What do you guys think is a good tip amount, right? What do you guys think is a good tip amount? I stick between 15 and 18, right? Just depends on the service. If you give me exceptional service, I might give you a little bit more. But let me know let me know about you guys. So Florence, she's married to her husband Marlon. They've been together for 13 years. She has 3 boys with him. She's from Haiti. Forgot to mention that she's from Haiti. She's Haitian. So then we also see that Florence is opening his beauty bar that's supposed to be open in 2 weeks. It's supposed to be open around the time of Haitian Flag Day, which is 2 weeks away. And when you looked at that beauty bar, I don't see that. I don't think it's gonna happen, sis. Really don't think that's gonna happen, right? So then we see her. She's doing this interview with this Haitian blogger. I will say her family is very, very cute, right? So she's with her boys and her husband, and she tells the kids how she and her husband met. They were at a party or a club, I don't know. He said he lost his phone, asked her to use his phone to call his phone, and then there was his phone in his pocket. Slick. So then we see Florence at her beauty bar. She's on Instagram. She's telling her people to come out and support her. The beauty bar will be open in 2 weeks. Come out and support her. Her sister Gaia was like, "Girl, you ain't gonna be ready. From the look of this shit, you're not gonna be ready." I'm like, and you are right. But Flo says that she got this and she don't need that bad vibe. She got so much going on. I'm like, girl, you are preaching to the choir. Like, we can see you got a lot going on. This ain't it. Like, you got a lot going on. Like, something's got to give at some point, right? So then she's talking about the fact that Marlon doesn't come home. And when she said that, her sister said that, he's fucking one of her girlfriends. I was like, well, damn. Okay. All right. Interesting, right? That's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. And share the video. And until the next one, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Like, comment, subscribe. Wear your mask. Be safe. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, you guys. All right, you guys. We're off. Now, I will say before we get off here, right, because today is Tuesday, right? So we just have the Oval tonight. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow, the schedule for Thursday. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.